Hey there, animation fans. Now you might remember my last video where I watched all of the Swan Princess movies so you don't have to. That video is epic, it's amazing. Watching all of those movies was quite the adventure, to say the least. So since I'm clearly still in a Swan Princess mood, I decided that I'm going to rank all 10 of the Swan Princess movies. And I'm gonna do it in a tier list because that's what all the kids are doing these days. And by the end of it, I'm going to have my ranking from best to worst. So let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna be ranking these in chronological order from the first movie when it was released all the way to the very last movie, and then I will give you my ranking from there. So starting off with the very first movie, The Swan Princess. There is no contest here. This one by far is the best. It is in the S tier. It is far and away better than everything else on this list. I don't think anything else will come in that tier. So sorry, spoilers, but The Swan Princess is number one. The next movie is The Swan Princess Escape from Castle Mountain. This is still 2D, and I know a ton of you said you have so much love for the second and third movies, but I don't. They are not good. Animation and the quality takes a nosedive in this one. All of the voice actors are replaced except for Odette, and they just rehash the same plot point. Rothbart's assistant Clavius wants the forbidden arts, and Odette turns into a swan. So for this reason, this one, because they're just trying to pad the runtime, they have a 5-minute scene, no joke, it had to have been longer than 5 minutes, of them just chasing this orb around as it lands in someone's hands, and then Butterfingers, it pops out, and then it's bouncing down the stairs, and then someone else grabs it, and where should this go? I'm gonna put it in the C category. It's just not great at all. I never need to see it again. So that takes us into movie 3. This is still traditionally animated and still horribly animated. This is The Swan Princess Mystery of the Enchanted Treasure. Yeah, that's what it is. There's a lot of mysteries in this one, but this one does not have a Z. And I think this one is worse than the previous one. I know that. I don't think, I know. Again, there's just nothing unique about this one. It's like they're really grabbing for straws. They have Zelda as the villain, who's just a second-rate Clavius, who's just a second-rate Rothbart. So, I mean, we're really going down the list here. Odette turns into a swan. It's just so unmemorable and not great. Now, number 4, The Swan Princess Christmas. This one is so bad, and trust me, I talk about it all in that video. Check it out. It is just so random. There's Derek snowboarding, there's a lightsaber duel, there's auto-tuned Christmas carolers, Glee Club. I honestly cannot do this movie justice on how bad it is. And for that reason, it's actually good. You know, a movie is so bad that it's good, that it's comical, that it's hilarious? Yeah, that's what happened to this one. It was just going down, 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 and it reached a point of no return where by some forbidden arts, it brought it back up. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna put it in an A or a B tier. A B tier. That one's gonna be a B tier because there's definitely some that are in between. Okay, movie number 5, The Swan Princess, A Royal Family Tale. And I didn't mention this in my reviews of these in that other video, but why is it on the DVD cover, Odette looks like Hilary Duff? Is it just me? Let me know if you think she looks like Hilary Duff on this cover because it's like they ripped her face off and put it on Odette. She looks nothing like Odette anymore. And that's because in the 4th movie, The Swan Princess Christmas, she had plastic surgery. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. It never got better from there. Well, it kind of gets better in the other films, but
I just can't get my nose right.
Now, this one I didn't like at all. I know people love this one, and I'm sorry if you love this one. I don't. This is where they meet the orphan girl who they adopt and she becomes their daughter. It's really cool, but that's where the coolness ends. She gets kidnapped and they have to save the day to find her, and I just didn't like it. I don't know why I did not like this one, but this one is last on my list. This one just has an ambiguous bad guy. He is kind of like this flaming eyeball like Sauron, but then he turns into a smoke monster like the smoke monster from Lost, and he is like the essence and the embodiment of the forbidden arts, just like Sauron is the embodiment of evil. I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. He's like around and like zipping around in his smoke form, and the flying squirrels are introduced because we needed them for some reason. Our pond pals were not good enough. That pond has run dry, so we need some new creatures to help save the day, so flying squirrels it is. All the elements just did not come together for me, so it's a D. Okay, movie number 6, The Swan Princess, Princess Tomorrow, Pirate Today, with the exclamation point. You cannot forget the exclamation point. And this is the movie that's all about Elise. Now that we've introduced Elise, we can now move away from Derek and Odette as the main characters, and so it's all about her, and it's very stereotypical, like,
I don't want to be a princess, I want to be
a pirate? She goes on a pirate ship and she sails away and sings a song about being a pirate. They land on this island, they kind of get shipwrecked, and it's very weird and bizarre. There's these spiny lizard creatures that are trying to eat Rogers. They have hoverboards, more flying squirrels. It's bad that it's kind of good, but not quite The Swan Princess Christmas good. Seriously, everyone needs to watch that movie because it's so bad it's good. But with all this being said, it is better than the Swan Princess Castle Mountain one. So I think it's on kind of the same tier or level as The Swan Princess Christmas. We'll see. There'll be some wiggle room on this for sure. Wait. Movie number 7, The Swan Princess Royally Undercover. Again, we get more Elise and her friend Lucas. They're kind of an item. They hang out together. They're spies. And so this is the one where everyone is wearing sunglasses because why not? Also is the movie where Uberta falls in love with this random guy named Antonio. She is totally smitten for him even though she's engaged to Rogers, so that's kind of awkward. Basically, they turn into spies because they have a feeling that Antonio is a bad guy, and he is a bad guy. So that's that. Also, I noticed in these movies, I don't know if they didn't have very many models for their characters, but Odette and Derek are always riding in carriages. Always. That's all they do. They walk and they ride in carriages. They walk and they ride in carriages. I don't know. So for this reason, this one I did not like. I'm gonna put it below the 2D sequel, just because it was so bizarre, so off the wall. The sunglasses thing. Rogers even has a spy room with all of these spy gadgets and contraptions. And it's like, why are we doing this? All right, movie number 8, The Swan Princess, A Royal Mystery. Is that what it's called? It is what it's called. Mystery with a Z. Mystery. And this is when it gets really bad. I feel like I'm so surprised that they were continuing to make these films because they were just getting worse and worse and worse, right? We start with the Christmas and then we have this and this and this one is by far probably one of the worst ones in existence. They're just sort of throwing in the towel at this point and just like,
we know it's gonna make a certain amount of money, so here you go.
I don't know, that's honestly how it feels. The bad guy's named Niccolo and he's kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character, and he's really creepy and he's really weird, and I just get such a kick out of this movie because they have these scales of justice that he uses as punishment. It's just so bizarre. There's ghosts. The squirrel ghost is honestly like the weirdest part of these movies, is that the squirrel just appears all the time and he's helping them out. And it's like, why are you here? So I'm gonna put this in between the third movie and then the Family Tale, second to last on the list. And now we go into the redemption arc of the Swan Princess films. So the next one is The Swan Princess Kingdom of Music. So this is the 9th film. We meet all sorts of characters from around the world. They come to the Swan Castle to do a big talent show, music show. It's basically America's Got Talent and they have to pick a winner. And the cool element of this is Odette hasn't been turned into a swan for a long time. They finally just like let that go. She's just known around the world as the Swan Princess because she was turned into a swan 4 or at least 5 times at this point. And so one of these kingdoms is called the Kingdom of Cathay. It's very much based on China. And there is a prince and a princess. They are twins. One likes to sing, one refuses to sing for some reason. And she has a boyfriend who was turned into a dragon. The emperor did not want them to be together, so he said, you know what, I'm just gonna turn you into a dragon. Yeah. That's one way to solve that problem. And this one has a really cool twist at the end on how they break the spell. Ooh, spoilers. But yeah, they do break the spell. He doesn't remain a dragon forever. And I just really liked it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable, good times. The music, they really love their music. There wasn't really anything memorable about the songs other than the fact that Elise plays the harp and Prince Lee plays the harp, and then they play the harp together in this big harp duet, especially because the harp is designed to look like Odette in her swan form, because. And this one ends with a be continued at the end, and it really is a 2-part film, but when I got to the end of it, I liked it so much that I immediately went and watched the next movie. So that is a good sign, because these other ones, that didn't happen, hardly ever. No. So here we go. This is the first one that we are putting into our A tier. And that leaves us with our very last one, The Swan Princess, A Royal Wedding. And no, it is not the wedding of Odette and Derek. That already happened. It's the wedding of Princess Mei Li and her boyfriend. And I keep just referring to him as the boyfriend because I don't remember his name. I clearly haven't looked it up. But they need to go back home to get married. And so this movie is all about making that happen. And gosh darn it, there is a sorceress named Fang. She's getting in the way. How are we gonna stop her before she stops them? So it's actually pretty good. I did like it. It wasn't quite as good as the one before, but I was still pretty interested for the most part. But for that reason, I think I'm going to put it at right after The Swan Princess Christmas, because that one is so epically bad, it's good. I cannot explain it enough. I want everyone to go and watch this movie just so we can all reminisce about how weird and bizarre that movie is. So here is my ranking from 10 to 1. Number 10, The Swan Princess, A Royal Family Tale. Number 9, The Swan Princess, A Royal Mystery. Number 8, The Swan Princess, Mystery of the Enchanted Treasure. Number 7, The Swan Princess, Royally Undercover. Number 6, The Swan Princess, Escape from Castle Mountain. Number 5, The Swan Princess, Princess Tomorrow, Pirate Today. Number 4, The Swan Princess, A Royal Wedding. Number 3, The Swan Princess, Christmas. Number 2, The Swan Princess, Kingdom of Music. And lastly, we all knew this was coming. No question, hands down, the number 1 Swan Princess movie is The Swan Princess. If you've seen these movies, let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my ranking or my opinions on these films. And of course, for my full opinions on these films, be sure to check out this video right here. It is amazing, it is good. I just had so much fun recording it. But that's all I have for you today. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. Mystery with a Z. By far, trust me, I watched all of these. The next movie is they just can't get my nose right.